Today I am participating in the Kendra's Card Challenge number 18, Brass and Bliss Hop. And so all of the designers in today's hop will be using products from Brass and Bliss. And this company is, well, I'm new to this company. I had never used any products from their shop, but when I checked out their shop, when there was an opportunity to do a hop with them, I loved all of the items in their shop, and it was really hard to choose just a few items to use. But I did choose a few items from the shop to use in today's video. So I'm going to be using the Floral Memories stamp set, and this one has several flowers in it. It's a clear stamp set and then one large sentiment. I also went ahead and picked up the coordinating dies to go with those flowers, so I didn't have to cut those out by hand. I'll just be die cutting those. And then I chose the lattice with scallop cover. Oops, let me see if I said that wrong. Well, yes, it's lattice with scallop cover, but this is like a background die. I chose that one as well. And then I chose this paper pack, and I've already opened it because I've been picking out which paper I want to use in today's video. And so I have, let me see if I can just flip through it really quick. You can see a lot of the prints here on the front of the cover, but there is some solids, but then there are lots of gorgeous flowers. And look at that little hummingbird. And so there are some very pretty papers in here. I'm just going to do this quickly since this is a hop today. And so I know that I need to get on making the card because you want to hop along to all of the other designers. And like I said, the other designers will be creating with products from Brass and Bliss. And so we each chose we each had the opportunity to choose our own products. So I have no idea what the others have chosen, if some of us chose the same things or not. So more than likely you are going to see a variety of products on today's hop. So I'm going to get started on my cards so you can hop along later to the rest. But I hope you'll stick around and see me create my cards using the items that I chose first and then hop along to the others. So I'm going to start out using sketch number 14. And so today I'm just going to be choosing sketches from Kendra's Card Challenge number 18. I'm not going to create all 18 cards, of course, because during the hops, I don't create all 18. I just choose a sketch and then create a card. And so as I'm creating this card, I will tell you more about our sponsor today. So our sponsor is Brass and Bliss, and Brass and Bliss is an online shop that you can check out. I will link below to their website so that you can check it out for yourself and see. They have stamps and dies and paper, so a lot of card making items. And so I had a lot of fun shopping in their shop and picking out what I wanted to use in today's video. And so like I said, I'd never heard of them until this hop, but they have some really nice things. So be sure to check those out today after you hop along through all of the videos. So I'm just starting out by cutting my strips that go on the card here. So I just chose this paper. It's very beautiful for those strips, to cut for those strips. And so it's just 2 strips that you have to cut, and then you have your background paper that you cut. So I'm going to cut that now. And I chose this purple cardstock that I had in my stash. I have had it forever, and I don't even know where I got it, but I thought it looked really good with this print today. So I'm going to use that as my background paper. And so you need to cut it to, actually I'm going to cut the largest one first. We need 1 1.5 by 4. So I'm going to cut the 1.5, and then I'll cut the 4 inches. And then I'm going to cut the other strip down to 1.25 that I need, and then 4 inches, so I don't waste my paper. That way I can use my paper wisely. I'm very stingy with some of my papers. This is just a color I don't buy a lot, so I want to be sure that I don't waste it. Okay, so with this sketch, it says that you can use any shape here in the center. So what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to try and see how it looks to put one of the flowers. So I'm going to stamp one of those flowers and color it up, and then I will come back and put the card together with you. So I've gone ahead and I stamped my flower, I cut it out, and I colored it in with alcohol markers. I decided to color it in purple to kind of go with the paper. I could have went with yellow, but I went with purple. Maybe I should have went with yellow, but we'll see how it goes together. And then I've gone ahead and cut out this lattice die, with the lattice die, this background piece. And then I'm going to use the same color cardstock for my card base. So just a reminder, we're doing sketch number 14. For you, it's only been a few seconds. For me, it's been about 30 minutes because I've been working on all of this. Now, I will say, in order to cut this out, I did have to run it through my die cutting machine. I just used the hand crank type. I'm not using the one that's electric. I may have should have tried the electric one, but just the regular hand crank type, the manual one, I ran this through about 3 or 4 times to be sure to get this smooth cut like this. So you want to be sure to run it through yours a few times if yours doesn't cut through the first time. And so it cut beautifully once I did that. So I love how it turned out. It was easy. By running it through several times, it made it easy that these just automatically fell out, and the dots did too, and I didn't have to sit and fussy with those. So I'm a bit lazy when it comes to that, so I just ran it through a few times. So now I'm just going to layer everything up, and I'm hoping that this lattice piece will look good on this card sketch. I want to see, because I wanted to do a little bit something more for this card. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the back and just try to get thin lines of glue, because it is thin lines on here. And I'm probably getting glue all over my mat. I need to get some baby wipes into my craft room. I forgot to pick those up when I was at the store, but that would help to clean up some of this glue mess. I'd like to keep some in my craft room, but I ran out and I just hadn't got any more. Makes it easy since I have to go all the way to the kitchen for some soap to make a soapy rag up to bring in here. So I don't have water in my craft room. I'm just lightly putting glue across all these lattice pieces so that they lay down. Don't want them popping up on me. I want this piece to be fairly flat. I think that's good. Hopefully that's good. We will try it and see. So let's just layer that up on our card base. So this piece, when it cuts it out, it's about 4 by 5 1/4. So it makes it just like you would when you normally cut your background piece for your A2 size card bases. So I like that. And that glued down pretty good. Okay. Got a little glue on my table. Okay, so now we're just going to layer these up for the sketch. So just add some glue to the back of these. Trying to decide if I need to cut these a little shorter to go with this lattice, because I might want them inside the lattice piece. And you can do that. Just trying to decide how that would look. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me measure inside this lattice piece here. Let me measure how, maybe I'll just mark this where I need to cut it. Let me find my pencil. I'm just going to lay it right here inside this edge. Then I'm going to mark just lightly in there. I'll just trim that off. Hopefully I'm not messing it up. And let's see how that fits, if I like that better. I do like that better. So I'm just going to measure that one. It measures 3 5/8. So let's just cut this one at 3 5/8. I think that'll be good. And then I'm just going to add it to the inside here. So that way it fits up right on in the inside of the lattice, and it's not covering up any of that little scalloped edge. And then I'm just going to try to evenly space it on my card base here. And I'm just getting glue everywhere tonight. I'm just going to go in there and get a washcloth to clean all that up. I am working later in the evening. I've already had my whole long day, and now that some of those in my household have gone to bed, I decided maybe I would do a little bit more crafting tonight. But we can see I'm a bit messy. I think I'm a bit messier at night than I am during the day. Okay, let's just put this here. trying to evenly space it out. I can't be perfect. I'm just eyeballing it. There we go. So we got that glued down. And then we'll just glue our flower down. Or do I want to pop that up? Before I get the glue added to it, should I pop that up? Or, I think I'll glue it down because it is such a thin piece. In some spots it is thin. So I could have just made several of these and glued them together to make them thicker. But I didn't do that, so I'm just going to put this one down flat. It actually makes it easier to mail them if things are flat anyway. So I just want to center that up on my card. I love this flower, and it was so easy to cut out with those dies. It was just simple. And so here is our first card, and this is sketch number 14. It's not a lot of work to it, but I love how it turned out. So I've gone ahead and cut all the pieces, and I went ahead and stamped the little flower for sketch number 6. So I'm going to use a gray card base for this one. And this one is fairly simple. You have a background piece that you put on, and then you have the little bitty rectangle, and then your banner pieces. And it does include a bow, so I'm going to go see if I have any ribbon that I think looks good with this, and we will see. So I'm just using a sheet of, well, I cut this from the spring paper pack that I showed you at the beginning. I just chose this one with the gray. I thought that was pretty. And I did stamp my image in gray so that it would match. And you can see here, I tried 2 different grays. And so I like the, they're not much different. They're just a little bit different. So I decided to go with the other side for that. I like that gray better. It's not as bright. And then this is one of the sheets from the paper pack as well. So I'm just using the back side of it with the pink. I thought that went well with the flowers that's in this one. And so then we're just going to layer this one up. So I've gone ahead and cut my gray banner. I want to lay it down here, make sure that I like that gray banner on it. And then I'll have the pink banner on top. And so this one is very simple. Now I have to decide, I'm going to have to put the banner a little lower so I don't cover up my flowers so much. So just kind of figure that out real quick before I glue everything down. So I think that'd be pretty like that. Okay, so let's just glue everything down. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed seeing me create these cards, and I hope it's inspired you to get out your paper and glue and scissors and create something this weekend. And I hope that you will get lots more inspiration from the designers in today's hop. So be sure to look in the description. I have lots of information in my description below on the playlist that you can click on to watch the hop for today. But I also have the link to Brass and Bliss shop. And then I have more information about Kendra's card challenge. So be sure to read through that description today. And here are my 2 completed cards. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.